Some breaking news here is that we've got some Newspoll numbers. We weren't expecting these this evening, but some Newspoll numbers have just been published by the Australian newspaper. The headline figure about two-party preferred is Labor still 51-49, but the numbers under it are really worth noting here, which is that the Liberal Party's primary vote is now back to the highest point it's been this year, to 40, which is up 2. Labor is also up 2, 36. The Greens are down 1 to 12. And also, we understand some votes come off One Nation and the other minor parties. The preferred Prime Minister, Scott Morrison is back in charge of that race, currently leading over Anthony Albanese 42 to 38, so essentially returning to pre-bushfire levels is where we're going, apart from two-party preferred, but 51-49 is essentially a line ball either way for obvious reasons. 2 points that are quite interesting and worth talking about with our panel here, which is the economic response to coronavirus, 47 dissatisfied, 33 satisfied, but most importantly, 65% of people are happy with the information they are getting about health. 65 yes, 28 no. And on that economic number, there's a very big unknown factor about all of this. So we'll see where that goes in the next little while, but the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, back as preferred Prime Minister. Liberal vote up, Labor vote up, Greens down, because we're not talking climate change as much as we had been, for obvious reasons. It's all coronavirus at the moment. One Nation and the others are down as well. That's just a smattering of things, but I'll just get a quick take from everyone on the panel about these numbers and where they sit. Where Jared Blige is from the LNP in Queensland. Jim Molan is the Senator for New South Wales and the LNP in the Liberal Party, I should say, not part of the LNP in New South Wales, and Liz Storer is with Advance Australia. Jim, it was pretty obvious to me that Scott Morrison was always going to return as preferred Prime Minister, and you've also seen a return to major parties. How do you view the political side of this before we get to Corona and other issues?
I think he's performing very, very well. Those that will never give him an inch, of course, we will expect that. But I think the reception of the stimulus package, Paul, was tremendous. I have heard one group of three separate people, who spoke to me about the stimulus package, and that was self-funded retirees. No one else has complained to me about the stimulus package at all.
Yeah, good point. Well, again, there's no further breakdown and all of that, but I'm trying to read Simon Benson's take as well as give you the information as well, but all of that will be in the front page in greater detail a little later. Just about that health information stuff, Jared, look, I think it's a great thing that it means we are trusting the information we're getting, we're happy with the information that we're getting, and part of that information is what we have been talking about. 80% of people will get mild cases, but we all need to make sure we take care of those that are vulnerable, so the reason we don't get sick is to make sure Nana doesn't get sick.
Yeah, and that's right, and that's the difficulty with the schools, and there's big debate about whether you shut schools or not, because kids aren't generally getting COVID-19, but they certainly can spread it, and you don't want them spreading it out in our communities if they're not at school. Look, I give praise to the Prime Minister. I would hate to be in the situation he's in. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. He puts the stimulus package out. Some people say it's not enough. Some people say the health stuff's not enough. You try and close the borders in terms of the flights at midnight tonight and self-quarantining after that. Some people say it's too much, it's crazy. Look, I think he's got to get the advice he's getting from the Chief Health Medical Officer, and I've got to say, the information that's going out is pretty good, and it's up to date, and it changes daily.